Welcome to the June 2024 Jupiter Real Estate Market Report. Data in this edition is going to cover single-family homes only. This information should be useful for anyone interested in moving to Jupiter, buying a single-family home in Jupiter, selling a home in Jupiter, if you own a home in Jupiter, if you're interested in Jupiter real estate in general, or if you're looking for a Jupiter realtor. All data will come from the MLS or multiple listing service and cover the period May 1st, 2024 through May 31st, 2024. Median sold price of single-family homes in Jupiter, Florida. All right, $975,000, down 2% month over month. Of course, still, I think, on the high side of this chart. Let's not linger here, as median sales numbers can be pushed around pretty easily in Jupiter because there's a smaller sample size, smaller total number of sales that occur. So I don't like to put too much weight into this, just kind of use it as a general yardstick. I think that's a better use of it. Total number of homes sold in Jupiter. So the total number of single-family homes sold in Jupiter, 77 last month, down from 109 sales last May. So the market is slower this year, right? From 109 down to 77. I don't need data to tell you that. I mean, it's what I do every day. I can tell you it's slower. Now, whether that's due to rising homeowners insurance costs, higher interest rates, buyers just not feeling as pressured, or any other factor, look, those are really buyer and property specific. I can't guess too much on them, but bottom line is sales are down year over year. They're down month over month. But I don't think it's all doom and gloom. All right, list to sales price. The list to sales price in Jupiter real estate is increasing. This is something that is important, and it's really something to take note of. I want to see how this plays out. Look, what happens when we get up here is that sellers don't have to reduce price at all. They can just list it at whatever they want, and somebody's going to come along and pay them 100%, or in this case, a little over 100% of the ask. There are no concessions. Now you start to get down here where you're 5-6% off listing price. Now you've had sellers who are willing to take less than their asking price in order to get the house sold. This bodes better for buyers, right? If this continues moving up, this is bullish for sellers. I'm curious to see which way that it goes, because we are kind of down towards the bottom of the chart here. But it'll be something to keep an eye on for sure. Median days on market, number of days that it actually takes to sell a home in Jupiter. Now, this is the number of days it was actively listed before it went pending sale. It isn't how long it takes to go from the day that you list it to the day you go to the closing table. It's just the days when it was active to pending. That's a really important metric to watch, but it's also a really important metric to understand. Buyers are going to want longer days on market. It means they're not pressured to make any kind of a quick decision. Sellers want shorter days on market. Fewer days that it's on market, faster they are to get to the closing table, right? So who's winning here at 44 days on market? Year over year, we're down from 55 days to 44 days. It is moving up, so I think it's something interesting to watch. We're up 10% month over month, but it's going to be interesting to watch, because if these days climb, it's going to be better for buyers. So see which way it goes. Median price per square foot of Jupiter home sales. Taking a little dip from last month, but we're also still on the high side of the chart. I'm going to keep saying this until I have to beat it into people's heads. This is all logical, and there's a reason for it. Buyers are willing to pay more for something that's already pretty. They want it fixed up. They don't want to do the heavy lifting. That whole DIY, make it your own thing, that's gone. It's not what buyers want. They just want to walk into something turnkey, that's it. As a listing agent, it also helps me. if I can put something on the market that looks pretty instead of putting something that's beat up and saying, just imagine what it can look like. If at all possible, it's better in this market to do the repairs, get the property looking right, than to try to put it out there. In the end, what's going to happen is, if you need $20,000 in renovations, a buyer's going to offer you $40,000 less and say, yeah, I know it only costs 20, but I have to deal with the permitting and the time and the contractors, and it's just a headache, and I don't want to deal with it. And if I'm going to deal with it, you have to compensate me on price. Total dollar volume, hugely important. Total dollar volume of Jupiter home sales last month. If you watched last month's video, I talked about how there was a few sales that aggregated to come up to $50 million in excess total volume. So that 50 million did not reappear this month. If you looked at this and you didn't know that fact, and you were just kind of outside looking in and said, 32%, this is down month over, this is a huge decline. It's not necessarily a decline. Our number would have been the same last month if we had taken that 50 million out. We'd be flat pretty much month over month, right? Because this is 162. Add that 50 in, would have been 159. So without those handful of huge home sales, we're about flat. So I know the number, it looks worse than I think it really is, to be totally honest with you. Look, if you want to look at it a different way, this is when I was leaving the market about for dead. There was 57 million sold in December. Look at it this way. We went from 57 million in December to 109,000 5 months later. That's a huge climb. It's a huge climb. So don't let the minutia of the data, don't get too lost in it. I still think we're better off than we were in terms of sales velocity and everything else. Months of supply of inventory. All right. Months of housing inventory in Jupiter looks to be favoring buyers, actually. Year over year, supply's up 20%, little over 20%. So that means buyers now have 20% more choices right now than they did this time last year when home shopping. So that's good news for buyers. Less inventory is good for sellers and bad for buyers, right? The fewer choices that buyers have, the less a seller has to negotiate because there's nothing for sale. It's simple supply and demand, just like any other economic metric. This functions the same way. More supply is going to be better for buyers. It's going to be worse for sellers. So, wildly important. My name is Casey Prindle, and I help busy people sell and buy real estate in Jupiter, Jupiter Farms, Juno Beach, Palm Beach Gardens, Tequesta, Hobe Sound, and Loxahatchee. If you're thinking of moving to Jupiter, Florida, and you've got a list of 20 homes that you're considering buying, and you need an agent to help you narrow that down to 4 or 5 homes, and then go preview those homes for you, I'm probably your guy. If you're a first-time home buyer with 10,000 questions, or somebody considering relocating to Jupiter, I'm probably your guy. If you want to sell your home in Jupiter, but you have a higher level of complication in the sale due to higher price point, probate or inheritance, divorce, any form of distress, or you just live out of state, you need somebody to take it cradle to grave for you, I'm probably your guy.